All right, do we all know who Eva Mendes is?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe one of the hottest women ever alive.
She was like my biggest crush in high school, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
And
Really?
she's married to Ryan Gosling.
Not that hot.
What are opinions on him?
She's married to Ryan Gosling? I didn't know that.
He's got a crooked face.
Have
never
you
noticed
seen
that?
his body?
He's pretty banging.
He's not an attractive person.
You know what?
He's good looking.
I get it.
I think he's good looking. No?
Oh, come on, Bart.
You don't think he's good looking?
I think Steven would have said it.
Did you guys see La La Land? How charming he was. He's playing the piano. He knows how
Oh,
to
so
dance.
you like goofy Ryan
the whole
Gosling.
package.
You don't like.
Oh, you like class clown types.
I just like the
Classic
whole
clown
package.
types.
Anyways, back to Eva.
Do you like the silent Ryan Gosling?
Sure.
Drive
Stoic.
Ryan
I
Gosling?
think Ryan Gosling is good looking.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think he's.
Bart, nobody thinks this shit, dude. Stop it. Just stop, dude.
How come he gets all the leading man roles? Someone got to think that.
No, that's not
Oh,
why.
he's got to think.
I liked him in that detective movie with Russell Crowe. You ever seen that one?
Nice guy. That's
Nice
a
Guy, that was
great
funny.
ass movie.
Underrated ass movie.
Great
Shane
ass-
Black.
Jane Black. Yes. Oh my
That
god.
was funny, yeah.
That is
That's a fun one. He's very quirky in that one. I like it.
very much so. All right. So Eva Mendes has not been in a movie in a long time because she's been spending the last couple of years raising her children.
Oh, cool.
And she's a proud mom.
How responsible.
Very, very responsible. And, she keeps up, though, with, her Instagram. She posts some stuff here and there. Recently, she started a debate on her page.
What?
Cool. Must be fun.
I agree with her already.
You agree with it?
Whatever she says. Yeah.
She's
whatever.
always right.
100,000%.
All right, so she says, I'm often asked what my favorite red carpet dress is. And then, she has a picture of herself here with
Yes.
with a dress on. And she says,
That's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty.
This Versace is definitely up there. I'm not often asked what my favorite parenting quote is, but I'll post it anyways. So she's just trying to share some parenting thoughts.
That's cool.
And so we slide to see what that quote is. It says, spanking does for a child's development what hitting a spouse does for a marriage.
So she's offending the spanking people.
She's not defending the spanking.
She's
yeah, yeah.
Oh, she's offending. Yeah.
So all the pro spanking people are like, oh, come on, I'm just trying to look at you in a dress. What the fuck?
Joe's still processing this. Actually, I'm still processing it too now.
Right, yeah. So basically, if you spank a child, it's equivalent to striking your partner. And what it does to a child in terms of spanking is the same thing as what it...
Spanking is just abuse.
Yeah, you would be
Yeah,
abusing your
yeah.
partner. You're abusing your...
Some people are religious about spanking, though. They're like, it is a fucking thing that works.
Yeah? How many people in this room were spanked growing up?
I
Spanked?
got my ass beat.
I got some.
I was jumped.
I guess maybe
On his best day, he was spanked.
there should be categories.
Smiling from ear to ear, he's being spanked.
I got death threats.
You
bro.
might as well call my parents Max Holloway. The highest volume of punches thrown per
Bart
round.
was like, I was getting fucked up all day.
What are people saying?
So obviously there's a lot of people agreeing with Eva
Yeah.
saying like, oh yeah, like, it's terrible to hit your child. It's scarring,
Yeah.
that the fear and all that stuff that it instills in your child,
Yeah.
it'll never go away. And a
Yeah.
lot of them, like I grew up with spanking and it did a lot of harm. A lot of that. Actually,
Yeah.
predominantly people agreeing with Eva Mendes because it's her page.
Right.
But on the flip side, some other people said things like, I don't know, I was spanked and now I'm a respectful adult. And believe me, I deserve those whoopings. I was a brat. Someone else said, completely disagree. The goal in raising a kid is not to have to spank, but it's correcting before they can reason behavior out of you. Completely different from hitting someone. That's not correcting behavior.
I get that.
Have you ever seen a video of somebody who's like, I don't know, like 18 or whatever, and they're being a punk, and you're just like, I wish this guy got his ass beat one time.
Yeah.
And then it would be fine.
Yeah.
We've all done this.
Yeah? Jake Paul comes to mind.
I feel like for me, as a kid, I remember very distinctly being spanked, and I remember never fucking being that much of a brat again afterwards. I'm not saying I'm for spanking, and that I would even do it to my own kids. I don't think I have the balls, frankly. But I just remember it being something that was beneficial to me personally. That's all.
Yeah, I feel like I went the other route. It's like, you spank me, well, I'll be a fuck up even more.
But Joe has powers though. Like Joe's a little different. Joe's a little he's a little smarter than most kids though, I think.
True.
Yeah, like he's not like an average kid, you know?
For a kid by the age of 6 to realize they could outsmart their parent,
Yeah, that was. Hey,
I mean, that's different.
That wasn't me, bro.
That wasn't me, bro.
That wasn't me, dude. I deserve some of. I used to get beat up a lot. Not like beat up, but I used to get spanked a lot. And I think for a while I was like, yeah, I deserved it. But I can see where it's like, yeah, there might be some better ways to handle certain situations.
What sucks is that I'm sexually turned on by spanking now.
I know, and that's what's the worst part.
It's brutal.
You doing the spanking or getting
Getting spanked, of course, over my wife's
So
knee.
Nikki pulls you over and pow, 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 and you're like, I'm a bad boy, I'm a bad boy.
And I'm hard as steel.
And he can't finish until.
It bothers me.
Oh my God. I don't know, right? Because like we think of spanking, everyone thinks of what happened to them as a kid. Some people just went through abuse. And some people they got spanked, but it was controlled. Like it was different. It was kind of like, all right, you did this wrong. This is the reason why you're gonna get spanked. Come over here. All right, bam. Okay, this is why you got spanked. It's more like it's reasonable, or like at least there's like groundwork behind it. It's like there's warnings, whatever. Because I saw my friends like when I went to their house, it was more controlled like that. And I was like, oh shit. So you just don't get hit out of nowhere? And I thought that was weird.
Getting hit out of nowhere is fucking weird.
That's very traumatic, yeah.
I'll say this too. Growing up with certain kids when I was in like high school, and I would like talk to them like, "Oh, did you get beat up when you were a kid? Like, are you smacked around or spanked?" They'd be like, "Oh yeah." They ended up being. This is my small sample size. They ended up being really cool, right? But the people that didn't get spanked when they were kids, they were kind of fucking assholes, dude. They were kind of fucking little like.
I agree. Yeah, you're right.
Very, very general. Very general. Of course.
Right.
But I just think.
Yeah, there's a type of person out there that's never really met like the consequence.
And they're one of those people that like, shut the fuck up. Like you want to tell them to shut the fuck up sometimes.
You're right, because me, like, I fought back with my parents, right? And then so, like, spanking didn't work there, but I got jumped by my friends from talking too much shit to them. Mm-hmm. So that makes a lot of sense. And I choked one of my friends for being an asshole to me. and then he shut up after that. Yeah. So
Well, he was choking, so that's good. Smart.
he didn't say anything.
On his behalf.
He didn't say anything again after that.
You're an effective choker.
Yeah, he was making fun of my fish tank.
Joe killed somebody. He was drowning him with, oh yeah.
And
I'm funny how? I'm funny?
But he was making fun of my fish tank. I was probably like 10 or 11 years old. And then I choked him with one hand, and I grabbed his other fish, like I grabbed his face like this, and I made it like this so he can't talk to me. And then I was like, after that, I was like, yeah, that's right, fool. But I felt so bad.
Just remember.
And then I was like, Dad, can you take us to go fishing? And then we went fishing afterwards.
Joe choked an 11-year-old. That's all you need to remember out of this. Take it out of context. Remember that he choked an 11-year-old.
I was 11.
Wait, what are you talking about? I'm trying to help him take it out of context. Stop doing that. Let him get a clean cut of this.
This happened 2 years ago, you guys.
But do you think nowadays is still acceptable? Like, do you think nowadays compared to before?
I think it depends on who's raising the kid, what environment it is. Some places are still really old school. Like I was talking to one of my buddies who's like a older dad now, and his kids are way older. Mm-hmm. And the way he told me what he believes in physical discipline kind of makes sense to me, where he was like, he thinks that reason should always be the first thing, right? It should always for sure be the first thing. But depending on the kid's ability to reason, that's where you have to adjust like the physical discipline. So for example, he's like, when a kid's like 2, literally doesn't understand anything you're saying, if your kid runs across the street, you have to just smack them. They know right then and there, every time I approach a sidewalk, I can't just run into the street like that because the consequences are more dire than that, right? So for him, it's adjusting.
But you're not saying you're doing that. I'm just to help you out here. You're not saying that you do that. You're saying that he's talking about.
He's talking about doing that, and I'm like trying to understand. Cause I'm like, okay, a lot of that kind of makes sense. Where it's like, okay, and he's not talking about smack him like that, but like maybe a tap on the wrist or tap on the butt or something like that to let him know, like, hey, like that's not okay. And then the kid kind of learns, okay, to stop himself right then and there. And as the kid is able to reason, like for him, he was like, by the time like my kid is like 6, completely no physical anything, because I should be able to talk it through with him. Yeah. And if I'm not able to talk it through with him, I fucked up.
Exactly.
So I need to go and check myself and find the correct words, or be able to find the right things that are relatable, because by the time they're 6, they do understand pretty complex ideas, It's just if I'm emotional, I can't get the words out, and of course it's easy to get frustrated and smack the shit out of him. So he was like, that's when I check myself out of the situation. I think about what the hell's going on, and I go back and try to relate to him, like what's going on.
And it's lazy. It's easier said, right? Obviously, because parents have bad days and they get off work and all kinds of shit happen. Their car sold out. Who the fuck knows? And they get home and their kid's being a shithead too. I'm just saying it's a lazier way of parenting. That's
Yeah. Like one tough one he was telling me is like, you know, when the kid's like 5 or 6, right? And you're working hard and then it's time to go to sleep. The kid doesn't want to go to sleep. Why? I want to go to sleep. What do I go to sleep for? And then so he always lets his kid make his own decisions. So he goes, okay, it's bedtime. Papa's gonna go sleep. Mom's gonna go sleep. Are you gonna go to sleep? He goes, no, I want to stay up. He goes, okay, remember, you made this decision. Cool. Next day in the morning, 6 o'clock, kid's super groggy. He goes, how do you feel right now? Oh, I don't feel so good. Do you know why you don't feel good? Because I slept late? Exactly. So like they kind of connect the dots for the kids. So the kids are actively making their own decisions and realizing the result of it.
That's great.
And like his kids now are like, I think maybe like 16 and 18, and they're some of the most like well-behaved kids I've ever seen. Yeah.
And now when they're like to their friends, they're like, "Hey, dude, don't cross the street." And like, why? I'm like, you're gonna get fucking slapped, dude. Fucking idiot.
Big hand's gonna come out of nowhere.
They have to go through therapy when they go to the crosswalk and shit. They're like, well, it says green, but
Doesn't mean it's okay. That doesn't mean it's okay. Look, it even has a hand. I know what that does.
He's gonna hit you.
I've seen what it does. It's a red hand, and yeah, guess what? It gets
coming.
red after. It's very red after.
Then when it's a walking person, that means your dad's coming, dude.
He's gonna beat your ass.
Coming to fucking whack your ass.
Your friend's got it all figured out, dude.
Parenting's easy, huh?
So
Super easy.
yeah.